been back since the first part of January.
Back to stay.
I've got somebody that wants to rent that rock garage.
Oh,
The
yeah?
whole thing. Those pews that the church has given to the county, I'm now gonna get the county to decide what they're gonna do if we decide to just move over there.
They have any churches here?
What would the county do with church?
Oh, well, that
Yeah.
burns, they said that. Yeah, that'd work. Yeah, sure.
This is we probably do good.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, really? And then, I'll be darned.
It's kind of like green grace. Green grace is the river above it.
Yeah.
How long's it taking?
It makes a lot
That's
of
what they talk
difference.
about.
Yeah. It gets into a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, they've done a lot.
Yeah, they run into so many complicated
I'm
things.
telling you.
Here?
There.
Here.
Everybody's had a chance to read the previous minutes, January the 23rd. No changes, additions, or corrections. We stand approved as presented. Need a motion to amend the agenda, please.
Make a motion to amend. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Peggy Sue Porter.
Your reports, we sent out sometime back on the financials for end of January. We ended January at $1,897,001. So we're just shy of 1.9. I'm still kind of expecting a payment, final payout on the airport, which we've not done yet. And maybe around the 30,000 range.
One of the things that's held, I'm not sure what's holding the whole thing up, but they've not gotten rid of all of the milled asphalt, and they won't get the final payment until they do. And that's Chris Flagel.
Right,
He's
I've
holding-
got
he's
it
the
in
engineer,
here.
he's holding that up until we get it done. There's still a lot out there. Suzanne?
Okay, I've got one ordinance and two resolutions to read. We'll start with ordinance 1030. And reading by title, an ordinance to amend section 2381, chapter 2, administration, division 10, personnel of the code of ordinances of the city of Ava, Missouri.
Motion to approve. Motion to approve.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hold on just a second. Second reading ordinance 1030, an ordinance to amend section 2381, chapter 2, administration, division 10, personnel of the code of ordinances of the city of Ava, Missouri.
Motion to approve second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then next we have resolution 2018-0204, and that is adopting the Douglas County multi-jurisdictional local hazard mitigation plan.
Need a motion to approve.
So make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the third in the resolution number 2018-0205 is a resolution for excessive force prohibited. Adopting that. Excessive force prohibited. And that is something that was requested that we pass.
Oh, here it is.
You need to read the title of that underneath it.
Well, I think you read it, excessive force prohibition resolution. You can read it if you want to.
A resolution establishing rules and regulations regarding the use of excessive force during nonviolent civil rights demonstrations, including physically barring access to facility or location which is the subject of such demonstration and providing penalties for violations thereof in the city of Ava, Missouri.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I've got a few.
Did we? Did we 10:30, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm sure we got all that in there.
Got them all.
The phase 2 grant, that's talking about what we're doing in the park. And we think we got everything in. Today, we got the letter from the school authorizing the shop kids to do the work. We've had to figure how many children, how many kids were gonna work, and about what they were gonna be paid and all of that. That part's and there's an estimate of the cost in there, somewhere between $6,500 and $7,500 on the labor. But anyway, that'll be part of our in-kind, but all of that's in, and I think it had to be submitted by the 18th, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say sometime next 2 or 3 days he'll submit it. I would expect in 30 days we'll know. Now, the one on the square has to be in by April the 1st. And I don't know when we'll hear on that one. But I think we'll hear sooner on this one because it's got a month and a half earlier deadline than the other. We think we've got all that in. We've had letters of support. We've done all we know to do. I will tell you, if I haven't told you, that if it goes through, we will have to relocate the bathroom. It cannot be put back in the same spot because of the floodplain. And the floodplain people will not cut us any slack on it. The bathroom, we can put it back in that same place, but because it's 7 feet below the floodplain level, you've got to have it so water can run through it. It can't have any heat or doors. So I picture something like you'd have on the beach in Florida. You know.
Got them on all the conservation areas now like that.
Yeah. But most of our people that walk would kind of like to have a heated bathroom, you know. So the upper one is heated. So our best bet's to relocate. We've got a place where we can do that. You come, if I'm looking at if I'm standing down by the playground and I'm looking at the pavilion and it's here, you've got a piece of ground right here between the pavilion and the road that's large enough. And now whether we can get sewer and water to it, another issue. And we also discovered sewers running diagonally across the new part of the playground that we're wanting to do. I mean, we can work around it, but so if it's accepted, we'll have some of those kind of decisions to make. All of the hoops that we have to jump through for that, we'll have to do with the bridge because there's no moving the bridge. If all of that's okay. The bridge needs to be where we want it. I don't know, it might be a way to raise the bridge, but you couldn't, it's higher than the bathroom. But the floodplain level is set with the box cover at the highway, and it's at 214, so anything below that is below flood level. The bathroom's 7 feet below. So it costs us a fortune to raise it, so it's just easier to move it. But anyway, that's what we're looking at there, if it goes through. We do have a hearing on the block grant on the square, February 27th. We'll be here at 3 o'clock. That's council day. also. We did not set the day and we did not set the time. That meeting,
Who set the time?
Skokop.
Skokop.
Mhm.
Okay.
And Jessica will be in charge of the meeting, and she'll set, the agenda will be hers. So, our hope is that we learn what the agenda is before the meeting starts, so we have some idea what's going to take place. Jerry Pitt's got all of that cleaned off, the electric shed, if you've looked at that.
Looks nice.
That looked pretty good.
Really nice.
Is he done?
Uh-huh.
You just do that, just.
Yeah, I mean, we got finished burning once there.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe something like
But,
Yeah, last week, I guess.
He's done with that.
It looks good.
The next thing that we would like for him to do is to go up there and scrape off, level us off a piece of ground up there where we think we want to put it. We're talking about putting it on the north side facing south, and then have doors on it. Because whatever we put up there, whenever we put something up, it's gonna have to be fenced.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I went ahead and asked Jeff Cofer to move the fire hydrant, which is, if you come up right between Dale Davis and Ava Ready Mix, and you head to the electric shed, we're gonna make a driveway right, there's a pole there, and there's a hydrant there. Move the hydrant, and we're gonna make it so a truck can get right into the lot that way with an extra wide, and then we'll have another drive out up here. But I think we've got plenty of room for them to turn back in with transformers or whatever you want to do. The transformers will have to be up there too, probably. And an ideal thing, I think, would be if the transformers have to be on concrete. So if we have a concrete place up there for the transformers where the bucket trucks will be, then the brush crew could sometime enclose the slab where the transformers are kept now, and that's on the east end of the electric shed. Make a separate room with a door and have nothing but your chainsaws and your brush crew in there, separate from the electrical side. That's on down the road. Possibility. Verizon. So we got an email from him wondering why I hadn't replied to his email, and I've missed it, just 4 or 5 days. But, you know, all of a sudden they're in a big hurry. So, Jack Hammer came down, he and Suzanne looked at what Verizon needed to do to submit to planning and zoning, and that was sent that day, late in the day, whatever day that was, 3 or 4 days ago, Wednesday or Thursday probably, to Mr. Cardinal with Verizon. That's all we know. Now, we do know it's a 95-foot tower.
Oh, it's higher than we thought.
But we also know they have to be cleared by FAA, FCC, and they can't build a tower until we know that they have been. And that's going to be standard stuff for them. I mean, they're going to do that.
Have they got a location where you can
Well,
be spotted but not hit a structure with 95?
they're going to take that whole lot, and they found the center of it. It's well, the answer is yes, they have. So, but we don't have the drawing. We don't have all the particulars yet, and they'll have to have that in order to go before planning and zoning. So that's where we are with Verizon.
So once that goes to planning and zoning, if they can either approve it or deny it, or, will the public have, I guess what I'm asking is, will the neighborhood have an opportunity to be made aware of the tower going in, how tall it is, and maybe a chance to voice their opinion?
Is there a change in zoning?
What he said the other day is that it does not require a public hearing. It's a conditional use permit, or it's a conditional use.
On a
So,
B3.
So there are certain specifications they have to meet those requirements, but it is open to the public meeting. So we talked about you talking about it in this meeting. We'll have it on Facebook, you know, and when we'll be able to. He didn't think that we would be able to have all the documents by next Tuesday, so they're looking at March before we can
Jack.
present it.
Yeah.
James Cardinal.
Well, what we will try to do as best we can is let everybody know in all the ways that we can what's getting ready to happen up there.
It'll be in the paper, it'll be on the radio.
Yeah,
so-
we've just got a couple of people, all we have to do is tell them.
Okay. But the agreement, I guess, with Verizon is actually with the
That's with county, yeah, we don't have
I mean,
any.
we don't have anything to do with that.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much, I don't know what the agreement was in terms of money. Floodplain on there for some reason. The floodplain,
The bathroom.
that's bathroom. That floodplain goes right down the middle of that creek. All the way up past what's now Hampton Avenue, Northwest 7th Avenue, or 6th Avenue, I guess. And it goes out so far, not too far, on both sides on the map, and it's got lines in that, and where those lines are, you're up the creek if you're getting ready to, pardon the pun there, if you're gonna build something in that. But you've got areas out here where the playground is and where the pavilion is, they're all in the floodplain, but it's in a different kind of thing. It's called an AE section, and you're not restricted there. Now you have to report it, we'll have to do the paperwork. Even if we just till the ground, we've got to fill out paper on it. But we can do it because it's outside this creek area. And another interesting thing we found, we had to come up with the deeds to the property. And believe it or not, the county had them. We first had a deed, it's several deeds, but when you start up on top, the road up on top is called High Street. And you come, there were some pieces of property they bought along the way, and then you come down the hill all the way to the road between the playground and the tennis court. So that's one deed. And I guess the reason is that included the land where our old water treatment plant was, where the tennis courts are. So we had that under one deed, and then when we took in the rest of it over to the highway, that's another deed. Just for your information. So we've actually had two deeds, but we've got copies of them, so we know for sure we own it. And that was about 1967, if I remember, when this pool park was bought. And even the part the city owned there, this water treatment plant, at the time the water treatment plant was there, it was outside the city. It wasn't in the city limits. The city limits was where the Upper Park Road is, right there, and from there on out was gravel. So I'm old enough to attest to that.
Was that when the original municipal pool was put in? 67?
Well, that's when the land was bought, but sometime in there,
68,
68 maybe?
it was shortly after that.
68, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So, and then this last one was at 03, 02 or 03, somewhere in there. When we have, and it's in the same place, essentially the same place as the old one. So that one lasted quite a while. We're taking really good care of this. We got it up to par. Staying after it's difficult. Yeah. Should have them, honestly.
No, well, the court dockets, but I needed to tell you that on Sherry Wallace's recommendation, there were more than just one, there were several, and it had wages too, so we're gonna do that in close.
Yeah. Need a motion to approve the court docket.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Make a motion to go ahead and close.
Need a second?
Yes, second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.